I know what we're about to talk about, but first, I have not seen Mulan. Have any of you guys seen Mulan? Because I have questions.
You don't know what we're going to talk about.
I don't know.
So, yeah, why did you say Milan? What's up with that?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Mulan?
What are you talking about, Milan?
I don't know. Have you guys seen what's going on in Milan?
I don't know. The country? Is that a country?
Yeah, the
It's interesting how Disney's doing it this time because they've done a lot of the live action. Oh, you mother!
Wow. Oh, so we're swearing on this podcast now? Okay.
Oh, jeez. Now you're giving me more bleeps. I got to add bleeps now.
So
This is Disney. This is Disney.
So inconsiderate of my time.
So when we upload to YouTube, there's a checkbox that says, "Is this made for kids?" And we always check no.
Yeah, always.
Or like this. Wait, hold on. So neither one of you have seen Mulan?
No, I've always wanted to, though. I never did.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then can we talk about Mulan for a second?
Yeah, I have questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I have many, questions.
Let's do it.
Ask
All
away.
All right. Well, first of all, until you just told me a few minutes ago, I didn't know that they were doing a live action film adaptation of Mulan.
Yeah.
This is true?
This is fact.
And it's coming out in March?
March 27th.
Whoa.
Yes, sir.
That's next
All
month.
right. I'm pretty interested.
Uh-huh.
And tell me about the cast.
Okay, so to backtrack.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mulan.
So it's interesting the way Disney's doing it this time. So they've done a lot of the live action remakes, and Beauty and the Beast, phenomenal, really good job. There's a couple other that, people would say not so good.
Yeah.
Lion King, okay. The way that they're
Aladdin.
doing Mulan, go watch the Disney version, the cartoon first,
Okay.
and then they're gonna do this one a little more realistic. So it's not gonna have any music. They're not gonna do the singing. They're going.
Oh, so
okay.
it's not going to be a musical.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're kind of sticking with the more
Actual
traditional.
story.
Yeah, the story and more drama.
I saw the trailer. It looked, story-wise, it looks really, really good.
Right.
Like I said, I haven't seen the cartoon or anything, but just from watching the trailer, it looked pretty epic. That's for sure.
Does it look like something in the genre of like, early 2000s, like Hong Kong cinema? Is that something we're in for?
Yeah.
Like Jet Li and Hero?
Hero. Yeah. It could fall into that. Which, speaking of, Jet Li's actually in Mulan, so he's gonna come back and make an appearance in Mulan. So they hire. So that's the other thing too. They cast. They made sure to cast authentic Chinese actors for this film. They cast like over a couple thousand people for Mulan. It took them a long time to find the right person to play Mulan. They wanted somebody that could speak fluent Chinese or Mandarin and then also speak English fluent. And they had to make sure that they were from China, like they were actually Chinese, so that there wasn't any kind of backlash with everybody complaining about somebody not being authentic enough. But Jet Li is supposed to play, it's all on IMDB, and he's supposed to play the Emperor. So it's going to be really awesome to see Jet Li back in film. I don't think he's going to do any fight scenes, but oh man, that would be awesome if he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to pay homage.
Yeah, exactly. They are.
Sure.
They don't think that they have the dragon in there. There's like a little sidekick that goes along with her. He's a little dragon played by Eddie Murphy.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't think that that's in there because it's not on the casting list.
Probably because Eddie Murphy isn't Chinese.
No, because the
Is Eddie Murphy a dragon?
They're not going with the traditional storyline. Or the Disney cartoon because I think it's too cartoony. It has a lot of funny parts, and since they're trying to be more serious with this one and go with this,
So like Game of Thrones.
You're gonna have to edit this big time. So they're doing this based off of the the legend of Mulan in Chinese storytelling.
Okay.
Because it was a young woman that joined the military, and it's an all-men military, and pretends to be a male or a boy, and trains
That's why I
and
don't know.
fights right along them, and then they find out that she's a female, and but the cartoon is obviously a little lighter, and they do the story differently, where this film is supposed to be more the traditional tale of Chinese story.
Okay.
But it looks really interesting.
That sounds interesting to me now that I know what it's actually about. I didn't know that when I was younger.
Yeah, but it's going to be completely different than the cartoon, so it's going to be in its own category, which I think is probably the way that Disney should go with it. At first, I was kind of disheartened because the music and the sing-along in that cartoon in Milan is really good, and everybody knows those songs. But they were disappointed when they heard there wasn't going to be any of it. It's kind of like if you watched Beauty and the Beast and there were none of the sing-alongs.
Yeah.
But
I think I can kind of appreciate that, just in the
Right.
sense that, you know, the musicals. I mean, I'm a huge musicals fan. What I'm about to say probably makes me sound like I don't like musicals, but I love them. The musicals are for the children, I think, to get their attention. You know. But I do like the fact that they don't just regurgitate what was already there with real human beings. I do like that they put some effort toward how can we make this story different, because all the people who are going to watch this live action adaptation to it watched it when they were kids. So how can we get their attention now as an adult?
Right.
I kind of like that, but still keep it to where this adult can bring their kids to the movie theaters and they can enjoy it together. So I like the fact that they would be taking that challenge on.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. I mean, because I think why some of the other movies didn't do as good was maybe because they kind of took the other route where they tried to make it too much the same as the cartoon. And I think people are like, why are you redoing it? You know, when it was already good as is. So why redo it and make it look completely the same, just a little bit more updated? But it's like, why do that? So it's kind of cool that they're kind of doing another variation, a more serious version of it. Even though I've never seen the cartoon or anything like that, but hats off to them for, like, you know, taking that step and just being like, all right, we're gonna do it this way, you know. So
well, they did the live action remake of The Jungle Book, and it was really good. Granted, there's only one human element in it, but
Which one did they do? There's a few, right? The live Jungle Books, right?
I think there's two. No, they stuck with the original Jungle Book cartoon for the most part.
Okay.
And then the second one, I think, is the Mowgli, or is it? Or it follows.
That's right.
It follows one of the characters, which is like a separate spin-off story, I think.
Okay, I think that's the one that I saw.
And I mean, it was done really well. I think Jon Favreau directed it. No, Stephen Sommers directed it. Oh no, sorry, the animated one was Stephen Sommers. The live action was Jon Favreau.
Dude, I'm gonna stop agreeing with you. I'm like,
I gotta go with my
That's right.
Original. Jon Favreau directed, and it was really well. But then again, it's all animals. I think it's easier to go from the cartoon animals to a live action animal than it is to the human element, because in the cartoons, most humans are over exaggerated, very characterized. Like there'll be a really long, skinny one, or a short, round one, and you know they have big noses, and it's funny.
right.
But when you put that into a live action and they don't look like that, it takes away from that element.
yeah, and it could be something interesting like the video game adaptations episode that we talked about, where we have an expectation of what this is supposed to look like and how it's supposed to make me feel, and if it doesn't deliver on that exactly, there's a good chance that there's no connection with it, you know?
Exactly. And that's the other thing too with the singing. When you are singing along with the animated version, you're connecting with it and memorizing that song. And you know, a lot of people that grew up with those can break out in song in the drop of a dime. But when you go with the live action one and they add a new song or change the song, Cena gets all mad because the lyrics are different in one of them. Like there'll be a couple words different. She's like, "What? They don't say that in the cartoon." She's all mad. She knows it by heart. She's singing along with it, and it messes it up for her.
Yeah.
So for them to completely take this music out of Mulan and go with more theatrical, dramatic version, that's probably the right thing to do. That can work. It's got to be one or the other. You can't kind of half it. Another one was Aladdin. They redid the Aladdin one, which we saw that in theaters. And mind you, Aladdin is Cena's favorite Disney cartoon.
Oh wow, really?
Hands down. Aladdin is her favorite. Little Mermaid is my favorite. I don't care what you say. I love Little Mermaid.
We're gonna come back to that.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, they're doing a live action of Little Mermaid. But Aladdin we went and saw in theaters, and Cena fell asleep.
Oh wow.
That's how out of it took her. Like there's a lot of slow parts. There's some different parts that just it just doesn't work that well.
That's on my list. I do want to watch it.
Didn't Guy Ritchie direct that one? I know he directed
Aladdin,
one of
them. Guy Ritchie
Nick.
directed Aladdin.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie directed Aladdin?
Yes, which Guy Ritchie, phenomenal director.
Yeah, he's one of my faves.
Yep, he directed Aladdin, and
I might watch that tonight then. It's been on my list. I've just been like, I'll watch something else.
Oh wow.
So we went and saw Aladdin on Broadway in New York, and hands down the best play we've seen in a long time. The genie on Aladdin in Broadway killed it. And it was his last time doing it because he was going over to Hamlet. So we luckily got to see this genie do his performance.
Okay.
But the transitions between sets were like seamless. Like you're watching a scene, and next thing you know, you're in a new scene, and it's all live. Cool. It's happening in front of you, and you don't even realize it because you're so into them singing and dancing. And the costume design was just spectacular. And then you watch the live action version, and you're like, yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
It should kind of blow your expectations. I mean, blow your expectations out of the water from then, right?
Yeah, she was excited for it.
I don't even know what that phrase was.
It should just blow.
You gotta blow something. I don't know.
Blow your expectations, right?
Blow something up. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see Milan and how they're going a different route with it. I hope.
Yeah, I'd be interested in watching it because if it's anything like the older like Hong Kong cinema style movies, I feel like there might be a resurgence trend in that. I think so, and this would be a great way to kind of introduce that. Hopefully, I haven't even seen the trailer though, so hopefully.
It looks similar to like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and all those really cool.
So that's
late 90s,
that's the
early
direction
2000s.
they're taking with it then.
Yeah, like it's.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's old Chinese war, and it's cool, cool looking.
Very cool. I'm gonna watch the trailer. Brandy just entered the room, and
well, look who decided to show. Okay, my competition.
Like, look who decided to show.
Okay.
Hey, Michael.
Too late, Brandy.
But she'll appreciate.
You should record.
She'll appreciate. Yeah.
You should record Randy real quick, and then in editing, just slowly put her in over Cody's frame.
How dare you?
Just have her come in like
How
this.
dare you, sir? How dare you?
So guess what Nick's favorite Disney movie is? No.
Wait. What's your guess?
No.
What's your guess?
Oh yeah,
she said Mulan first, and then she said Aladdin, and then what? Lion King. No.
Keep going.
Huh? Jungle Book. No. She's laughing.
I don't care what
she
you
said.
think.
But you had to see the face. You couldn't see the face. The face was the Little Mermaid.
I don't know.
Because it was her
Little
favorite.
Mermaid.
I know that's Brandy's favorite movie too. Why is that your favorite Disney movie, Nick? Just curious. Not saying I like the movie. It's not my favorite. But why is it your favorite?
I don't know, man. Just out of watching all those. So that's one of my favorites, man. And then the Robin Hood.
I don't know, man.
Disney animated one with the fox and the snake.
That's a good
Yeah,
one. That's a good one.
That's actually one of my favorites.
That's
I
like
didn't know
right
anyone
up
else
there.
knew about that one.
A
to be
lot of
honest,
people don't know about that, and
That's
it's
a
on Disney
classic.
Plus, by the way.
Robin Hood and
I
Little
watched
John
it.
are running through the
Yeah.
forest. Oodle-lally-oodle-lally.
There you go.
That's such a good one. So that's one of my favorites. And then with the newer versions, it's Little Mermaid. I don't know why. The characters are just really good. The songs. I like the crab. The crab sings is Jamaican. Awesome. And
Under the
then yeah, Under the Sea. Under the Sea. It's good. And then there's like funny parts where the seagull comes in when they're about to kiss, and they're singing. They're trying to sing them, make them fall in love, and I don't remember how they're singing. They're like, and the seagull comes in and tries to sing, and he's like, wah wah wah. It just kills the song. It's hilarious. I don't know. Man.
Kills the moment.
So
Well, I learned
funny.
something new about you, Nick.
Yeah.
So they're making a
Wow.
live version of The Little Mermaid.
Yes, they're making a live version of it, and I'm
Brandy, did you know that?
excited and terrified at the same time.
Yeah.
Does that make you excited or scared? Now, we have Brandy in studio, and based on our previous conversation about adaptations, would you want them to keep Little Mermaid, if you were going to go watch the live version of it on, in a movie theater, would you want them to keep the music and keep the story the same, or would you want them to take it somewhere without the music?
like a more serious?
No music in it, yeah. Not a musical, basically. Okay, so I think she's open. Her answer is I don't know. I'd have to see the preview, but she looked very disappointed when I mentioned no music. So
Yeah. See, with that storyline, I don't think you could do a serious version of it with no music, because that music is so entwined with that cartoon and that movie.
yeah,
Now, don't get me wrong, Mulan has some really good songs in the Disney cartoon version, but they can get away with that storyline since it's like war and stuff like that. That
They have action
they
that
can,
kind of.
yeah.
yeah.
And all of these
mask it.
all these animated versions are deeply rooted with a message. You know what I mean? Mulan having to, I haven't seen it, but I mean the plot is her having to hide that she's a female to be able to do what males do, right?
Yeah. And then Ariel in Little Mermaid's a hoarder.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How dare you say it?
Don't hoard, children. Don't hoard.
Whoa.
She collects stuff.
Yeah. What is the message behind Little Mermaid?
Having feet.
Clean your
About having feet? Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's that this world is too small. I don't know. It's a tough one. I've seen it. Grass is greener on the other side. That could be it.
Especially
Little
when you're in the
Mermaid
ocean.
is- I'd say this.
When you're in the ocean.
The seaweed is greener on the other. I don't know.
The ocean's bluer.
Yeah, the Little Mermaid, I would say, is obviously a relationship about a love relationship. It's about sacrificing or what you're willing to sacrifice for another person, because she gives up her voice and basically her soul almost to try to meet the man of her dreams, the man that she loves. And then there's somebody who's trying to stop that, and eventually he falls in love with her for who she is, and that's the story.
How do you say that in one sentence?
I don't.
I think we should make that a challenge for next week. Is we have to put the plot in one sentence for our favorite films,
I'm bad
or
at
for
that.
all the Disney films.
Can't do it.
Uh,
I'm
Can't
really
do it?
bad. I'm really bad at over explaining.
he just
can't
got
do it?
upset. Nick got upset.
I
I know, he's like, I'm not gonna play.
won't do it. I'm out. I quit.
I'm not playing.
I
I
lost. I lost already.